Hello there, my beautiful Virgo signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is a Celtic crossbred. I pull a traditional Celtic cross because I am Celtic, so it seems only fitting. But the song that I was meditating to your energy today, Virgo, was called "The Best I Ever Had" by Leamy. It's a kind of like a heartbreak breakup song, but it's also like I don't know. You'll just have to listen to it. But I do feel like a lot of you are going through heartbreak or some sort of breakup because there is a loss of some sort. But I do feel like you're moving forward into something new, something that's going to bring you a lot of love, a lot of peace, a lot of it's going to require a lot of introspective work, but there's going to be a lot of positivity to come from all of this. So if you're feeling like low or down at the moment, I do feel like there's going to be a shift here pretty soon. Um, and soon is relative. So like within the next 5 months, you're going to really see like visible changes. So let's dive into the tarot here, Virgo, and then after tarot, I'm going to dive into a bunch of oracle cards so that hopefully, cohesively tied together these messages that I'm getting from my guides and your higher self. Now, your energy is Page of Swords. Some of you might be doing some like social media spying or watching your exes a little bit too much on social media, but your challenge here is like a new opportunity. You have this Page of Pentacles energy. This is a new seed. This is like something tangible you can plant and start to grow. It could be, something in regards to career, or it could be something in regards to friendship. I do feel like it has to do with like your creative adventures or endeavors, like picking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, starting a new job, going back to school, something along those lines. Like Spirit is really trying to guide you out of this like mind mess when it comes to love and into something that's going to be like more, I don't want to say more fulfilling than love, but like it kind of is. Like love is not enough alone to, sustain anyone in this 3D reality we live in. You have to have a lot more than that. And right now, your situation, your foundation here is a new chapter because you have the Fool card. So it's like this is a brand new journey for you. It might feel uncomfortable at some points, but I do feel like it is a lot of opportunities for growth. Now, in your past here, you have the Four of Wands. This is typically a card of like engagement or commitment or celebration, but I pulled a clarifier for this when I got it out because it wasn't very clear to me. As soon as this Cup card came out, I was like, options. Somebody had options. Too many options, maybe too many irons in the fire, and I feel like it was there was a choice to be made, and I feel like you moved out of a situation and you're kind of maybe in the single energy or like single mother energy because you have the Empress here. This is very much so tied to your feminine side, your feminine energy, your motherly instinct, things like that. So just be cautious if you are in a relationship. You don't want to be someone's mother, you want to be their lover, and there's a big difference there. But sometimes when we are raised in an environment where we are expected to take on sort of a matriarchal role, we find ourselves doing that in our future relationships. And that could be, it doesn't have to be like necessarily just meant for a message meant for a woman. This can be a message meant for a man. So if you've been used to like having to step up and kind of play a motherly role, just be careful um, when you're in a relationship, be cognizant and aware of what it is you're doing and why you're doing it and what the intention is behind it. Now, in your subconscious psyche, there is the Page of Cups here. That's what makes me think there is something about love for sure, an opportunity for love. Maybe you have a lot of options when it comes to love or something like that. This Four of Wands can also mean like a commitment. So maybe you've made a commitment to yourself to be single, to not choose one particular person, to just kind of play the field. Um, and it's your prerogative. Like I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do, but I think there's some healing that is probably going to be happening and shifting from now until Aquarius time frame, which is January, February, because you have the Death card and you had communication. So if you're waiting for somebody to come back and send you a message, they probably will. It's just going to be a matter of time. A lot of times when we move on or close out a relationship, it's cyclical. Like people will come back in, sometimes to just test us to see if we're still in that same frequency and on that same level, or if we've grown. So if you've done the growth and you've done the healing work, chances are you won't be baited by someone from the past, um, or the ghosts that come back from the past to haunt us sometimes. And I do feel like that's kind of what the communication and the death card are about in this particular reading. Now, the foundation of the situation is also the Four of Pentacles, so maybe you feel like you should hold back, or you are holding back now, because sometimes with the Four of Pentacles, it can be about like squirreling away money, but in this case, it's like you're just kind of holding back and you have your boundaries up pretty steady. Just make sure your boundaries don't turn into walls, because then if you wall yourself off too much, you kind of disassociate or you compartmentalize things, and that can really mess with your head. So be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and if it's to protect yourself, in a healthy way, I get it. I totally understand. Now, how do people see you? They might see you as cold. They might see you as calculating. They might see you as a little bit um, very boundary setting. That's kind of what the Queen of Wands energy is. I also saw 555 on the clock just like a couple seconds ago. So 555 is a significant number of change. It can also be a number of conflict or chaos. So you might feel a bit conflicted about a lot of things at the moment. But the Queen of Swords is like a cool, calm, comfortable queen, but she can also be generous when she needs to be. But she's typically like a pretty pious queen, but it, sometimes when you have not set healthy boundaries before and you start setting healthy boundaries after you've been through some sort of traumatic relationship, it can come across to people who know you as like, oh no, like she's mad, or she's upset, or she's the B word. So if that is what is happening, it's just they haven't seen that version of you because you've never played that role. So if you were a doormat and all of a sudden you're setting healthy boundaries for yourself, people take that the wrong way sometimes, because usually those are the people that take advantage of your kindness or goodness. So I do feel like you're setting healthy boundaries for yourself and you're using discernment, and that's very, very good and very vital at this time. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Two of Swords. When it comes to love or whatever choice you had to make, I feel like you felt like there was only two choices, like you could only have A or B, but now this window of opportunity here has opened up because of the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is like you have a lot of options, and maybe it was easier when you felt like you only had two options to choose from. Because when we're limited in a partnership or relationship or friendship, and this person says like, "Oh, you only deserve A or B," and now you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you're like, "Oh wow, I didn't know there was so much opportunity here." You might be going like a little buck wild because you haven't had so many options before. You were trapped in your head and you couldn't see clearly because you had rose-colored glasses on. That's what happens when we get in love, and our minds go stupid basically sometimes because we assume or create delusions in our head or fantasies of people that don't necessarily add up to what they actually are in reality, but that's usually due to like gaslighting and manipulative behaviors on behalf of a partner or a person who's still also trying to hopefully heal themselves, or they're stuck in a sort of like infantile mental emotionally mental state where they have never done growth and they will never do growth. So the last card I have for you when it comes to tarot, Virgo, is love. This is the Lover's card. This is a Gemini card. You might be meeting someone in Gemini season, which is quite some time from now because it's October, end of October when I'm recording this. So you might be seeing somebody in May, perhaps, or June 6th. Yeah, June. Yeah, there's love there, but it has to come first from self-love. And when you love yourself truly, then you're going to draw in like-minded people. So there's a lot of positivity there that's coming out for you. Now, that's what I have for you, Virgo, for the tarot portion. If you liked what I said or if something resonated, please make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to pull some chakra cards, some wisdom oracle cards for you. Yeah, there's peace coming. I think peace is coming with all of this change. So right now it still feels like maybe you're in between worlds or you're still transitioning out of an old lifestyle into something new. But I do feel like you're moving forward. And you're moving forward from your heart space for sure, Virgo, because you have empathy. That card came out. And Spirit really wants you to create a vision for yourself because I feel like maybe you've only lived in the vision of someone else's dreams. Maybe you've never really had dreams of your own, and it's taken you quite some time to realize that, like, sometimes we get lost in someone else's plan or someone else's agenda and trying to help them. A lot of the times, on TikTok, they call the Barbara the Builder woman, or, stuff like that. And, if you're a dude watching this or a guy, its energy is fluid. So you can also be like a Bob the Builder, I guess, for a woman, and you don't really want that position either. So you want to find someone and attract someone who already has all of their stuff generally together, because you generally have all of your stuff generally together. And I say generally because, like, no one ever has it all together. It's not possible. It just doesn't. That's not how life works. There's always going to be an upside and a downside, upswing, downswing to everyone and everything. Like, and things constantly shift and change, and that's just how the future is. So I do feel like there's good things to come, but definitely try to focus on a vision, maybe make a vision board or have some sort of goal setting thing. But I do feel like there's positivity coming. Now, when you're moving out of this relationship or this situation, you might be experiencing guilt. And, at the end of the day, you have to realize that no one can make choices for other people. And you can't change anyone else. As much as people try to change other people, you cannot. And that is, it's not your job to change someone else. If someone can't see you as you are for who you are and love you that way, then they probably aren't the person for you. But sometimes when we leave situations and someone feels abandoned or someone feels triggered by our action or choice to not be a part of the situation, they might try to make you feel guilty. And that is just kind of manipulative behavior because they don't want to feel their feelings and fix themselves. So again, I just feel like that's tied to this Empress energy, something about being someone's mother instead of someone's lover. It's just very strong there. And then, there's this card is also tied to your sacral chakra, which is your pleasure center, your fun zone. And I feel like maybe that was not very fulfilling for a lot of you. Now you have the new moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. If you've been waiting for something to come in, some sort of I don't want to say monetary reward, but some sort of something you've been wanting or wishing for, I do feel like that's going to be coming by the end of November. I say end of November because Sagittarius, uh, there's a moon in Sagittarius on November 30th, so something around that time frame might be significant. And then you also have the Act card. This one says, is there a person in your life who presents as good and helpful but doesn't have your best interests at heart? And what tells you that? Use your intuition and lead you towards stronger, healthier relationships. If someone's in a relationship with you, they should be your friend at the lowest level. Like, that's it. You should start a relationship based on friendship. And when you have a foundation that's solidly based on friendship, then that friend should always have your best interests in mind. Now, we are human. It's not always going to happen in the way we think it will, but if you cannot be friends with your spouse or partner or whoever, chances are it's not going to stand the test of time, because friends usually, typically, that are healthy don't hurt you over and over again. So if you're experiencing something like that with a partner, use discernment and common sense, but sometimes it's best to leave a situation cautiously, but have empathy for yourself, because the empathy card came out here. So it says you feel and understand the emotions of another's in the service of love. And sometimes when you're super empathetic, you might stay with someone way too long, because you feel sorry for them, or because you want to help them, because you want to fix them, because you want to build with them. But at the end of the day, you might see an imbalance. And when you do, it's kind of like, it reminds me of that song called The Lighthouse by Kelly Clarkson. It's like, once you see something, you can't unsee it. And yeah, the song I was meditating to today, I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, I did. The Best I Ever Had by Leamy. So it's like, maybe you feel like this person, it was the best you ever had, and in your hopes and fears, you'll feel like you're never going to get that ever again. But I do feel like there's going to be something even better than you can imagine. Maybe you had great chemistry with that person, but there is something even bigger coming. Now, you also have the card, I am safe to be my true authentic self. So if you've kind of had to suppress your own wants and wishes and needs to please someone else. That's not a friendship either. So make sure you're aware that you have needs, and that's okay. That's acceptable. Like, you should have needs. Everyone does. And they should be heard, and you should feel valued and validated when you talk to someone, instead of just like brushed off to the side. Uh, the last card I have for you, Virgo, is Eye. It says, eyes are the windows of the soul. So if you have a friend or a partner or someone you're close with, sometimes you might have little blips of past life memories pop up if you do some eye gazing, which sounds strange in ways, but the eyes are the windows to the soul. So if you just stare into someone's eyes and just, set a timer if you want to, during like a meditative sort of period, just be quiet and just look into your partner's eyes or whoever's eyes, your child's eyes. You might have dreams or very vivid visions pop up, and that's probably an access to the Akashic records, for you to see how you're connected with this soul, because we are all souls, we are all energetic beings, and we are only here in these bodies for a certain period of time, but time is not linear, and I think people forget that. So time is a dimension in itself, and we are all just kind of, floating on a big ball through space. So yeah, anyways, tangent over. Thanks, Virgo. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. If it did, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please feel free to reach out. You can book on my website. And if you're interested in a personalized tarot reading, I can do that on my website as well. But I will see you next time.